insurance, you served as a marketing director in insurance segment, and then you moved on to a totally different domain, which was IT. Um, how do you manage the transition? Because the whole dynamics is very different of two different markets. How did you manage the transition?
So I'll just take us two steps back. One, and how I was inspired to join advertising itself was by when I was doing my MBA in Christ College. So there was this brilliant professor called Ijaz Hussain, right? So he used to paint this beautiful picture, this dreamland of advertising. When he used to talk, he never touched any of the the textbook, right? So he used to tell from his experience, because he was in advertising. He used to run advertising agencies, etc. So when he talked about advertising, so you could see that love and the dream that he was living, right, or he lived before, and that inspired us, a few of us, to go to advertising. So we are not taking anything else, and advertising at that point in time, I don't know about it right now, but it paid very poorly. But we took that plunge, okay, and we did whatever. The rough and the smooth, everything. It comes with any job, I guess, isn't it? It's not just advertising. But learned quickly about various insights and various communication. And I think I am deeply indebted to my advertising experience for the kind of knowledge, for the kind of understanding of customers and insights, importance of psychology, etc. So then I moved to the client. So MetLife was my client. I used to service their account, and I joined MetLife, which is an insurance company, because they were looking for marketing people, and I was the first person in that schedule who joined the company.
My question was, how do you transit from insurance to IT?
Right. So I just wanted to say the trigger before that. That's the reason, because then you will probably put it in perspective.
Right.
So insurance was at a boom. So I joined insurance at a boom period for insurance industry. And then there was a time when you could see the trends, you could see the kind of slowdown and various other things, which are specific to, sometimes it happens specific to a particular industry, particular category. So we could see that, and a few of us could see that, and then that is when, and I always was fascinated with IT, because that was a completely different. So B2C India to B2B US and Europe, right, Western world. And that was an interest, and that passion also was, I mean, it was not really a passion, but then that interest was also generated by the fact that IT was it used to pay very well, and it used to, there are lots of my friends who are working in IT as project managers and technical guys and stuff like that. And IT was this, again, a glamour world, beautiful offices, like that kind of buildings and all that. There is a lot of money growing inside and all that. But my major trigger or major area of interest was working with Fanish Murthy. So Fanish Murthy was heading iGate. He is the CEO of iGate then, and he was the poster boy of Indian IT industry. And then he was like a maverick marketeer and a great product enthusiast and stuff like that, right? So I remember that the interview that we had, from one of those video conferencing interviews that we had with Fanish Murthy. He was in California, I guess then. And then he asked me, what do you know about IT? I said, I don't know anything about IT. So he said, yes, you are selected, come over. So hats off. I think he was one of those people who wanted to take a bet on fresh ideas, fresh thinking, and not the same old cut and dried IT kind of advertising or IT kind of communication. So that.
So come with an empty brain. If you want to advertise, come with.
So my brain was by default. I was lucky that my brain was anyway by default empty, so it was easy for me.
So do you think empty brain creates more creativity than the filled brain?
Actually, what you said is a very, very, you have touched upon a very important philosophical topic, I guess. So you have read this book, right? Stay Hungry and Stay Foolish, right? So it's basically be open to things. So only when you have a certain amount of emptiness in this, so it's more of I think philosophical rather than, I think, probably practical, but I got your point. So you need to have a little bit of openness and little bit of unbiasedness, right? Neutralness, that neutrality of espousing and getting exposed to new things. I think would make a difference in what you want to do.
So you're basically everything when you're nothing.
Right, right, right.
You you can be everything when you're nothing.
When
That's
you're
the
nothing, yeah, yeah, right.